Hi guys, Chick here with day 53 of 778 Video Challenge, and we're going to pick up where we left off last night. As you recall, I was saying what a fabulous, wonderful day we had on December 15th, our 40th wedding anniversary. I told you we laughed and we cried and we snuggled a lot, and it was just an awesome day. That night, however, things changed. It was a different story. We went to bed, and at first everything seemed to be okay. But after about 30 minutes or 45 minutes, Jackie kept getting up and down and getting up and down, and she couldn't find a way to get comfortable. And she was complaining that the pain in her side was just becoming unbearable. And so it was a really restless night for quite a few hours. But about 4 o'clock in the morning, she finally seemed to be able to settle down, and she pretty much slept the rest of the night through. And I thought, well, that'll be great. And we were planning on kind of sleeping late the next morning, but at 8 o'clock in the morning, my phone rang, and it was my son-in-law, Zoe, saying that he and my daughter and their kids were going to come over and cook us breakfast and spend some quality time with Jamma. Well, while I hated to burst his bubble, I did think it was important that I tell him that we had a really rough night and maybe we ought to make it another day. Well, the words were hardly out of my mouth. Jackie sat straight up in the bed and she said, "What are you talking about? I had a great night and I can't wait to see them." Well, I got a little confused, but I'm going to bow to her wishes, of course. So I get up and I begin to walk around the bed to give her the phone so she and Zoe can make plans. But as I get closer to her side of the bed, she starts speaking, but it's obviously she's not speaking to me because she's looking out the back window. And I walk over and I said, "Baby, who are you speaking to?" And she said, "The people in the backyard." Well, it became pretty obvious to me when I looked out in the backyard and there was no one there that she was very disoriented. And over the next few minutes, she would go back and forth. She would be totally lucid, and then she would be totally disoriented and return again to lucidity. And I knew something was not right. So I told Zoe what was going on, and he and Chelsea came over immediately. And while they were on the way over, I called my son Manley and his wife Dana, and they came over. And together, we all went to the emergency room at the hospital. And as soon as we got her there and got her in, and all this whole time, she's obviously confused and doesn't know what's going on. We get to the emergency room and they take her in and they start running. They immediately put her into a room in the emergency room and they start running tests. And they determine that the problem is that her phosphate level is way too high, and they start treating her for that. Well, it doesn't take too long after they begin the treatment that she becomes lucid again, and it looks like everything's going to work out. But they want to put her in a private room, at least overnight, to just monitor her situation and see what's going on. So at that point, she's lucid. She's speaking to us. She seems to be fine. It's about midnight, and we decide we're all going to go home and get some sleep and get a shower and get freshened up and come back in the morning. I go home. I get home about 2 o'clock in the morning, take a shower, get into bed, set my alarm for 9, and I pass out. But about 8 o'clock in the morning, the phone rings, and it's my daughter. And she says the ICU nurse called her and said her mom had taken a turn for the worse and that we needed to get back up there as soon as possible. When I got off the phone with Chelsea, the first thought that came to my mind was, even if he doesn't, I'm going to pick the story up tomorrow night, 1,